Hello and welcome to Whisky Resource. My name is Mark. This is review number 99 and today it's going to be a review of a miniature that I got from the Summerton Whisky Festival in 2020. I tried it during the festival, only a little bit. I've not touched it since, so I'm revisiting this one for me, but this is the first review. It's the distillery in the most northerly town on the British mainland, the town of Thurso, and of course it's the Wolfburn. In this case it's the Northland. Previously I reviewed the Morven. Again, it was a miniature that was part of the Summerton Whisky Festival. Reviewed that, give that a score. You can check out that review up there. So the Northland, it's pretty much the same specifications as the Morven was, so it's bottled at 46% ABV. It is a natural colour and it is non-chill filtered, so that's all great things. It's a non-age statement whisky. Just looking at the colour, I've already poured the dram, but looking at the colour there you can see that is really pale. That is white wine pale. All good things. Doesn't matter about the age statement. Those things aren't that important really in the scheme of things. It's matured in American oak quarter casks, which give a higher wood to liquid surface area, so you get faster maturation, which is good. In terms of prices, like I did in my previous videos, I'm now going to give you a bit of transparency as to the price I'm looking at and then the average. So you can pick this up at Masters of Malt. It is out of stock at the minute, but when they did have it in stock it was £46. The Whisky Exchange have it in stock, £44.95. The distillery themselves, which I'm not including in the average price, but the distillery have it on for £40, but House of Malt, which is the third one I looked at, have it for £38.95. So between the cheapest and the most expensive is £7.05, which is quite a chunk when you're considering they're possibly having to pay for delivery if you're already ordering one bottle. Of course, if you're ordering the minimum spend for free delivery, then it's whatever is in your baskets for the best value. Average price then is £43.65, which is slightly cheaper than the Morven was. Same stats, which means that if you go check out my review, you'll probably find that this has a slightly better value score than the Morven did. Oh, I think that's pretty much all really we need to say about Wolfburn Morven. This is only the second Wolfburn I've tried. I do have a third one, which was a sample that was provided to me in a Whisky Exchange, in a dram share. So I'll be trying that later on, some other point. But this is, as I say, the second one I've tried. So we'll get straight to it. Wolfburn Morven. Can't really remember an awful lot. It is lightly peated, as was the Morven, so on the nose. So it's coming across like a delicate fruit. There is more of a peat note coming from it than smoke. It is a sweet peat. It's, you know, it's not too dissimilar. I would say not too dissimilar to maybe a Jura 10. It's kind of a heather honey kind of sweetness that's coming from it. It's well, ex-American oak. It doesn't say whether or not the ex-American oak is ex-bourbon. Well, the American oak quarter casks rather are ex-bourbon, but I'm getting citrus. It's slightly musty. The alcohol isn't really presenting itself. I would expect this to be jumping out of the glass. It's 46%, maybe being so youthful, but the alcohol isn't really presenting itself, which suggests this is a bit more of a matured whiskey. A bit more refined, maybe, a bit more restrained. But it's quite delicate. It is coming across with that little bit of youthfulness. Now, one of the things that they say in the kind of write-up on the distillery and then retailers is that you get, what's the word they use, fresh sea air I don't think I'm picking up that kind of maritime quality. I think if you think about it hard enough, maybe that peat is adding that kind of a quality to it. But given that the majority of whiskies that you consider to be peated are Islay and Campbelltowns, which are kind of maritime, then that association's there. But I think I will probably have to leave this to sit a bit, maybe put some water in to get that connection. But on the palate, so it's fresh, it's quite sparkly, it's summery, it's very refreshing. It would make a great dram to present before you're sitting down for a meal. Just something just to kind of, an amuse-bouche almost, to get the palate going. It is refreshing. It's sweet, but not overly sweet. It's peppery. There's that spice. It's aromatic on the tongue. It's floral. There's almost floral, flowery. It's a bit perfumed, lavender, Parma violets, maybe a touch of grape, but there's definitely a citrus element to it, which is kind of giving it that refreshing aspect. I'm going to say that really you could probably say mint is kind of the refreshment you're getting from this. Whilst you may not be tasting mint, it is refreshing like mint. It's that kind of a palate cleanser almost. Malty cereal, peat, very gentle peat that towards the end of the palate starts to move towards smoke, gets a bit bitter, a bit oaky, a bit tongue drying, a bit sour, a little salty. It's like sherbet now popping around on your tongue. The alcohol is more present on the palate than it is on the nose. It's enjoyable. It is an enjoyable, tasty dram. What's going through my mind every time I taste this is, how does it compare to Glencadam 10? It's got a similar colour to it. It's got a similar kind of delicate but vibrant mix of flavours going on here. Potentially, I'm going to put it out there, potentially an older version of this could be equal to a Glencadam 10. This has potential to hit that. Of course, this has got the kind of gentle peat and that gentle smoke going on there, which Glencadam doesn't have. So I'll push that out a bit further, and I'll say that the Wolfburn Northland, maybe when it gets to about 10, 12-year-old, if they stick with the same formula, obviously with those quarter casks it's going to age faster, so maybe they don't need to put that level of age statement on it, but potentially this could be the future equivalent to Glencadam 10. This is one to watch. This is a tasty, tasty dram. Now, I'm not going to put water in, because I think what water will do is because it's not coming across quite oily at all. It's the mouthfeel, it's the right level. It's not too oily, it's not too watery. If you were to add water, it'd probably unsettle the balance of it. It'd probably make Some of those bitter notes pop out a bit more. It'll probably kill that delicate citrus floral balance that's got going on there. So I'm not going to add water. But by all means, tell me if you've tried this, you put water in, at what level of water, what do you get from it? I am enjoying this. I am enjoying this. I think the price, for my mind, $43.65 is an average. It's a bit much. I think the House of Malt price, $38.95, is much closer to the mark. And if that was free delivery, or if it was knocked down to maybe below £35, this would be a snap. I'd pick this bottle up straight away if I saw this in a shop for about 35 or less. I'd pick this up. It's a refreshing tasty dram, and yeah, I could recommend picking this one up. It is a lovely thing. In terms of comparison to the Morven, I think I prefer this to the Morven. In fact, I do prefer this to the Morven, and I think my score is going to reflect that. But yeah, Wolfburn Northland, it's a tasty dram, and I'm looking forward to possibly what they're going to do in a few more years. Yes.